Hello and welcome to Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber, where, as you can tell, we're running some drills. The drills that I asked to be ran after I finish recording. Hello? Hi, mate. I thought the drills weren't scheduled until after 10. Sorry, Basil. We had to reschedule because some of the shadows were feeling nervous after watching the movie Ne Zha. It was just a bloody movie. Do they really think an evil demon child is going to come to Earth and wreak havoc upon it? I mean, it's happened before. You and I were the ones who stopped it the last time. That's a good point. Can't you just tell them to hold off for 5 minutes? Okay, I'm on it. Guys, take a break. Get some water and Gatorade. You're doing great. Take a break. Okay, Basil, you're good. Sorry about that. So for first-time listeners, we are a movie review podcast partnered with a secret organization of fighters, martial artists, Brad Pitt when he played Achilles in the movie Troy, all band together to fight evil for the good of mankind. Our honorary shadows, Alex, Con, and Nikonsi, who began their movie review podcast, coincidentally named their podcast the same name as our organization. So we took them on and allowed them to record their podcast here. I, of course, am Basil, retired Assassinations Corpse, now your host. The boys and some of the shadows here watched the Chinese animated film Ne Zha, a movie about a boy named Ne Zha who was born with unique powers. Other than being born the size of an 8-year-old who could walk and talk, I'm pretty sure that's why C-section births were invented. Ne Zha, through prophecy, was destined to bring destruction to the world and was outcast by his village out of fear. I feel like this is one of those times when the parents don't need to tell their neighbors about their kids. Oh, he has a nervous tick and randomly yells out dicks, so be prepared for that. That's something you disclose to your neighbors. Bringing destruction to the world, that's family business. You figure it out in the comfort of your own home so the lad can have a normal childhood. It's just parenting 101. Alright everyone, please enjoy the show. Okay, drill's back on. Someone get me my spear.
Blinded by the light.
This is Blinded by the Light?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just 80s
okay.
music.
It's beautiful.
All out 80s on Spotify.
You're beautiful.
Thanks, man.
The Spotify sponsors us. Not really, but they should.
I needed to hear that, though. I needed to hear that I'm beautiful after just... I feel like Cinderella after she scrubbed the floors and...
You're beautiful. It's true.
Yeah.
That's how it goes, right?
Yeah, that's how the fairy godmother sang
right?
to Cinderella after
I
she...
saw an angel.
Who are you,
In
lady?
a crowded place.
Am I the angel?
And I don't know what to do.
I don't like that song.
What song is that?
'Cause I'll never be with you.
Guys, this is June after he took a nap.
You're beautiful.
I like it. He's got so much energy and pizzazz. What's up, everybody? It's Alex, and as Basil mentioned earlier, this is a movie review podcast. I'm super awake, as you can hear in the rasp in my voice. That other beautiful voice that you just heard is Junebug, aka Khan.
AKA, I believe my stage name is we can come back to me. Oh, looking it up.
And then the guy in front of me, definitely not yawning.
Not yawning.
No, that's Nikonsi. That's our super buff.
I knew it.
Super buff.
My name is James Blunt.
Ah, okay.
That's the song.
Okay. I got you.
I feel like I just told you that. in my head silently.
No, you definitely didn't, because all you said earlier was, I hate that song.
Junior, you're supposed to be listening for those telekinetic brain waves that he sends off.
I'm too busy
Silently.
practicing the reverse of, rather than accessing other people's minds, defending my own mind to block off other people.
This sounds very lonely. Open yourself up, buddy.
You're beautiful.
Like a sad. I want you to use that to express every emotion. Kind of like how Marshall in How I Met Your Mother was doing that one sentence he knows in Italian. But do it like with the song. It's like, hey, June, you hungry?
You're beautiful.
Oh, okay.
It's true.
June's not hungry, guys. Like, it's beautiful. June, you just got in a car accident. How you doing?
You're beautiful.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
You're beautiful. It's true.
He's traumatized and he'll never love again. It's really sad, actually.
I saw an angel in a crowded place,
But he may, with time, make a recovery.
and I don't know what to do.
This time he really doesn't know what to do. The words were literal in this context. So, it feels so good to be in front of you guys again. Like, how many episodes have we done remotely? Like 3?
Yeah, it's a weird feeling,
Yeah. What's up with that cell phone, bro?
but we make it happen.
He's researching. You
Yeah.
know this. Why are you attacking him like this?
Yeah.
All right.
You won't believe what I found for you. This is totally you.
I'm really excited and I want to hear all about it. So I'm just going to tell everybody we went to the movies today. It was Family Movie Sunday. And we watched the movie, the Chinese animated film called Ne Zha.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised that there wasn't like some sort of subtitle. They really wanted it to be just Ne Zha. Like, this is the story of like the craziest Chinese deity among them. There's a lot of crazy Chinese deities. Deities in general are just wild.
From like Chinese lore, I love them.
And I doubt that you really heard anything about this one in particular.
Not
compared to-
until you told me. Yeah, you were telling me a little bit about it. What were you trying to tell me before I shoved the camera of my phone up your nose?
Just that, like, and even for me, and I actually went through the process after playing like the first God of War to like look up more Roman mythology and Norse mythology that comes into the first game, which the first game came out in like what, 2002, Myron? Nakansi?
Around there.
Like
Yeah,
2000.
sounds right.
Good.
Yeah.
Good recovery.
Is it a recovery or was it an intentional slip up?
Ooh.
Huh? Maybe I'm the one doing new things this podcast.
Sounds like it's going to be like the
Who
mystery of the
knows?
Tootsie Pop. The world may never know.
Tootsie Pop.
The Tootsie. Okay, so what happened when you were playing
We
of
bad.
God of War?
No,
And
I was
you wanted
just
to
using
look
that
up.
as an example of just me that was my kind of personal stepping stone for even being interested in looking up a bunch of mythos.
Mhm.
And Chinese mythology is very strange. In fact, I only know off the top of my head a couple of these like crazy deities that are like much more strictly Chinese mythology rather than kind of hodgepodge of like potential things like the avatars of Vishnu, like, is from Hinduism and stuff,
Oh, okay.
right? So Guan Yu is I want to say
He's the god of
was-
war.
Yeah, he is the god of war, but he was like a real person by a lot of like folklore that you read up about it,
He's an actual general.
right?
Guan Yu is in the movie. Was he the father?
No, he wasn't in this movie. I was again using this as a like, that's a common like Chinese mythology you'll hear.
Right.
Another kind of like folklore hero would be Wong Fei Hong, who was like basically the hero of the Boxer Rebellion. I think, Nikansi, you want to step in on that one? There's like so many.
Were they a bunch of
different-
people with like boxes, and they're like, we don't have enough boxes, and so they started rebelling?
He boxed so much. No, he's a Chinese martial artist, but he's also a physician and a folk hero.
Ah, okay.
And in that case, these are definitely like, with Guan Yu and Wong Fei Hong, these were definitely like real people who jumped up to that insane celebrity deity worship stardom.
Okay, so Ne Zha,
But Ne Zha, from all that I could read up on, is actually more of a just like kind of like a more mythical magic story of a boy who was born almost a like full-grown kid.
yeah, like a 8 or 9 year old, maybe
Right?
even a 10-year-old, right?
Yeah, something like that. And again, depending on which kind of stories that you follow, you can find and follow. He basically marked. He was basically marked as one of the calamities or catalysts for the end of the world.
Right.
Which in the movie, actually, he was born as the demon pill.
Right. And he was going to be, in 3 years from his birth, he was going to commit like a mass, like a massacre.
Yeah,
Of
some
people.
sort of massive calamity.
Calamity.
Calamity. That's such a funny word. Can we all say that? Can I hear you say it, Nikansi?
Calamity.
Okay, can I hear you say it, Myron?
Calamity.
You said it just like Nikansi.
I know.
It was like
It's
exactly
it's
the
like
same.
almost like people can't realize that there's two different people on the podcast.
There's Nikansi and then there's Myron. Now
No.
Myron is like, he's the goofball, but Nikansi's all business.
Calamity. You know what's crazy?
Yeah. That was actually Myron, but just saying it serious because he's a goofball.
In Journey to the West, Ne Zha was a general under his father, who was the pagoda-wielding heavenly king Li Jing. And he fought the Monkey King when the Monkey King rebelled against the Jade Emperor. And they became friends later.
Oh, really?
And Journey to the West is one of China's 4 great classical novels of Chinese literature.
There's so many movies of that one and remakes of those movies,
But nobody ever really knows the whole story unless you go and read Journey to the West.
for sure. But I like what they did with this story. So again, they had a few different things going on because they had a dragon like.
Oh yeah.
A prince?
Do we want to pull back a little bit and reiterate that like this movie follows the tale in a more kid-friendly manner of
Right.
Ne Zha, who essentially is like the demon prince, demon pill boy, some super chaotic energy, is born. He marks the eventual calamity of Earth.
Right.
In this tale. In other tales, is essentially that he is born and is prophesied to be such a powerful being that Ao Kong, the thunder god dragon, who in this movie was actually the king dragon palace, sends his son Ao Bing, who we meet in the movie, to actually kill Ne Zha before he reaches any form of power.
Yes.
In different stories, Ao Bing literally just gets slammed and killed. That's the end of that story. Ne Zha's too powerful. But in this movie,
Spoiler
alert, it's family friendly.
Yeah, I think that's the best way of saying it without spoiling anything. But no, it's a great story because they go into Ao Ping's story as well, because you can tell that off of what's going on in Ao Ping's life.
B
Where
as in boy, you keep having a hard P on your B.
is it Bing?
It's Ao Bing.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
because I watched a couple.
I'm gonna believe you, and allow myself to be made looked like a fool. But what I was gonna say is,
What you were gonna say is "Wo Zhirao."
the store.
Wo Zhirao.
No, Wo Bu Zhirao, which means
Wo
I
Bu.
don't know.
Sure.
Well, bougie do that
But
Dao.
doesn't "Wo Zhirao" mean I know?
Yes, it does, but I don't know.
Oh.
What I was gonna say is that
Drop your drowse.
Ao Bing's
Open your cows.
story was going to
Move the
actually
Mao.
lead into the sequel,
Lose the round.
right? Because that looks like it's going to be a
Shoot
super
the
dope
pow.
story.
Cool the cow.
And as I'm bowling right over, just plowing right over these
Not striking
amazing
though, unfortunately.
the story.
You're bowling over, but you're not hitting any strikes.
I'm not.
Oh, but can you insert some wind chimes here?
I will.
I have a history segment before you finish talking about what's going on in the movie, just to give them a backstory.
Okay, I think we talked about the plot enough to where I think they got a good idea of what was going on in this movie. Tell us the history.
Okay, this was actually an article that Shen Yun Performing Arts released
Just so everybody knows, this is Nikonsi.
back in
not Myron.
2014. And they titled it Ne Zha, the most unusual boy in Chinese mythology. Like all boys, Ne Zha was born from his mother's womb. That, however, is where Ne Zha's similarity to most boys ends. While not known to many in the West, for Chinese, Ne Zha has been a household name for centuries. He appears in everything from mythology to techno dances, popular movies to classical novels such as Investiture of the Gods and Journey to the West.
Full stop. Techno dances?
I know.
What the fuck?
I don't know what that is.
I want to find out.
I just picture people in Jinko jeans dancing.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Go ahead.
According to legend, it all began 3,000 to 4,000 years ago, during the Shang dynasty in northeastern China. A military commander, Li Jing, anxiously awaited the birth of his third child, and he was anxious for good reason. His wife's pregnancy had lasted 3 years and 6 months.
Whoa.
Okay, that's tough. Whew. I feel bad for her.
I do too.
Depending on your own personal beliefs and your own mythos and stuff, like that baby was dead a long time ago.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't.
Because the night before going into labor, his wife, Lady Yin, dreamt she saw a Taoist immortal sweeping his magical whisk across her belly.
Okay, so that's his
Penis? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Magical
Shifu.
whisk. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
It's a kid movie, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He asked her to accept the child being conferred upon her and to call him Ne Zha, also Jesus. Wow. Just kidding, but you see how that works. It's the story of Jesus.
But Jesus was an immaculate conception.
I know, that's what they're saying.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, I understand now.
Jesus is a friend of mine. I have a friend in Jesus. Jesus is a friend of mine.
The next day, Lady Yin gave birth to a large, round ball of flesh, basically a meatball. Shocked and disappointed, her husband suspected the anomaly to be demonic and drew his sword. He proceeded to strike the fleshy mass, piercing the surface and revealing, to his amazement, a grown, vivacious child, Ne Zha. Shortly after, a Taoist immortal arrived and offered to take the boy as his disciple. Both parents consented, with the Taoist then bestowing Ne Zha with a magic instrument, the cosmic wheel. Ne Zha enrages an evil dragon. The extent of Ne Zha's extraordinary powers would soon be revealed. One hot day, Ne Zha, eager to cool off, went bathing in a nearby sea. Still, unaware of the power that his magical instrument possessed, he took his cosmic wheel, the shape of a medium hula hoop but heavier than any mortal could lift, and swished it around only to end up causing massive tremors deep in the water below. The tremors caused by Ne Zha shook the underworld palace of the Dragon King of the East Sea. The enraged Dragon King ordered one of his scouts to find out who or what was causing the chaos. Upon discovering Ne Zha, a mere boy, to be the culprit of the seaside antics, the scout expected to kill him with ease. With one blow of his cosmic wheel, though, Ne Zha killed the scout, Learning of this, the Dragon King sent his favorite son to deal with Ne Zha. Ne Zha killed him as well.
Oh, interesting. Was that supposed to be Ao Bing?
I think so.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Overcome with rage, the Dragon King vowed to report Ne Zha's crimes to the Jade Emperor, supreme ruler of the heavens and mortal realms. Ne Zha, however, dashed to the gates of the Jade Emperor's palace and arrived there before the Dragon King. Using invisibility charms, he caught the Dragon King by surprise and served him a round of blows before he could see the Jade Emperor. Perhaps what has made Ne Zha so endearing, his unlikely powers aside, is the ebullient, playful persona of this age-defying folk hero. Ultimately, Ne Zha and figures like him invite us to partake in a world of wonder, a world where the horizons of human possibility are stretched, always for the better.
Thank you so much, Nakansi. I'd like to ask Myron what his impressions of the movies were.
It was visually stimulating, like nonstop. You're
such a goofball.
It was kind of crazy.
You're such a goofball.
I was like, wow, what? I feel like I was a little kid watching an amazing looking film.
I legitimately could not believe what we were watching, because that IMAX was actually fun. Like, the
really
amount of actual 3D that came out was just enough to top what were already amazing visuals. I was like, oh, I would not want to see this in not IMAX. This is amazing.
You know what's cool as like a Western audience member is that it's a new story. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how many times. I think this movie's been done before, right? In China.
Yeah, they have at least 20 different TV shows and films.
Sure. So, I mean, they're no better than Disney, than what they're doing. But it's still a brand new story, so I was sucked in immediately just because the lore is just...
right,
is so rich.
There's enough parallels in the way that they produced this one to make it easier for Western audiences to absorb, like, storytelling wise, I believe. However, at the same time, it was a very, very unique story, and in particular, there are so many different insane characters with insane stories that are in Chinese mythos that you can look into. For example, the Jade Empire, which is a part of one of the stories that takes place within Journey to the West itself, has this insane other general named Erlong Shen who has like a third opening eye.
I mean, it sounds super dope, and I'm happy that that movie got brought over to the West. And
supposedly we're getting a trilogy.
Yes, it looks like it's gonna be legit. Because
we're a sequel. That was. Whew.
It was kind of nice of them how they right before the end credits started, they're like, "Don't you dare go anywhere."
They had like
there will be post-credit scenes.
They had like 3 post-credit scenes. I almost left after the first one.
And they let you know.
Yeah,
wow,
that was nice of them.
That's courteous. Hey, American movies, figure that shit out. Damn.
It was actually, we stumbled on this movie by surprise. They typically don't have huge releases for Asian films where they set out a bunch of trailers. And this didn't even pop in the regular list of movies. I was looking under Mission Valley.
Oh, okay.
And I saw it pop up. And it was cool to see like an audience that didn't need subtitles.
Oh yeah, for sure. There was
we were with a huge bunch of different Chinese families.
Yeah.
And they were all laughing.
They were cracking up.
They were laughing at certain jokes that I didn't get because of the translation.
Right.
Like when they would play with names. Some of them, I don't know what the name means. But it's like accidentally calling somebody butthead or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But they would laugh, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that was funny. That was a wordplay joke in Chinese."
They do that
because,
a lot.
Definitely in all of the other language, there are other puns that are way more witty than American English puns.
I will say that like the animation was very top quality.
That was crazy animation.
It was super
Really good.
smooth too. I was like really, really surprised once we got from like regular kind of day-to-day movie scenes and we got into like crazier action scenes. It was still really detailed and really smooth.
And the clothing rippled.
Yeah.
When the people were walking, their clothing was moving.
How about the facial expressions?
Yeah, everything
were-
was super clean.
And again, it was like on par, if not better, than like American like animation. Because like, I mean, this is my first exposure to like a Chinese animated film. And
Speaking of like Western animation, I'm gonna name drop really hard. DreamWorks has a lot of really bad 3D animation. This was like a really good DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Like that was like when you first watched Shrek, you're like, it's in 3D. Oh my god.
Right.
They can do that.
I'm trying to like compare it to another like more recent.
The closest one would
DreamWorks.
probably be like How to Train Your Dragons.
I was just thinking about that one. Yeah. And that one's like great.
Because
Top
it's
quality.
mainly a family film that adults can appreciate, but also they have little fart jokes here and there for kids.
I have to say that these fart jokes were pretty good though. I definitely appreciated these fart jokes.
That's my what the fuck moment, guys. I'm just gonna say it and get it out of the way. They
Wait, it's
got me
family
to
friendly. What the fish?
what the fish. They got me to they got me to laugh at a fart joke because they did it right. And and it caught me off guard.
I was what is going on?
It wasn't blatant in your face. It was like a creative, like, unexpected way to use the fart humor, and you're just like,
It was
fuck you, you got me.
it was in the midst of
Fish you got me.
crazy action. It was in the middle of crazy action.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you're like, these guys are funny. They're
This
trolling
is
me.
ridiculous. Do you guys want to get into some what the fuck moments? Not what the fuck, I'm sorry. Badass moments.
Yes, okay. There's
Please.
one that I really want to talk about, and it is when they were transporting, and then it gets to a black screen and you only see one figure and it's completely silent, and the whole audience was silent.
I'm trying to remember, because this sounds...
How do you not remember that? That was so badass because not only was it visually stunning, it was like the sound design for it. They had you, at least in the IMAX release of this, had you with the sound alone feeling like you're being pulled through a jet engine.
Where were
Like
they transporting?
zooming. They were just being transported from them in the sky, and they got transported all the way back to like the 28th dimension in pure black, and then they got flash forwarded, and that's when they were like, we can hold hands and the power of friendship will be able to activate the chaos pearl.
Oh, okay, now I remember.
Yeah.
Yes, that was an intense moment.
And everybody was silent.
But that's what I mean. Like the audio could have set that scene itself because it was so crazy and so loud. And then just before we get to the black, it started slowing down, and then we're in the black, and the audio is just
cut.
dead cut, silent. But the thing is like you're saying, all the audience was also just feeling it. Like,
And the IMAX screen is huge, so to see only one main character or two characters dead center and everything is black, that was crazy.
I have a badass moment. The first fight between Ao Bing and Ne Zha on the beach. Everything they do is martial arts, is kung fu, but in this particular fight, you really do see them using the forms, both of them, and you see Ao Bing using Tai Chi. So he was like, up until that moment, nobody could really stand up to Ne Zha. And you finally see a formidable opponent for him, and he was using his own force because Ne Zha is like a force, and he's like a fucking tank, and he would just take anything out in his path. And Ao Bing was like just redirecting his attacks, and it was great. I loved it.
My personal badass moment is actually right after that, when they play with the birdie together. That hit me in my feels so hard.
Right there.
I was like,
Good show. This one was a heart wrencher. Like,
I know, I heard.
how long was our movie?
It was a 2-hour movie.
Okay, out of 2 hours.
It didn't feel like 2 hours though.
No.
It
it felt
had
short.
me, it had my heart wrenching like every 10 minutes. I feel like every 10 minutes I was like, I'm not crying. Why are you crying, Alex? And then like on the flip side, I'd stop crying for 10 minutes and Alex would start crying for 10 minutes. Like,
dude. Why is it always I can't, like, with adult movies where like the feelings are a little more relatable. Nah.
you just don't even.
But fucking kid movies, Into the Spider-Verse and this movie, I'm just like
And Patty kept on like, Patty, I kept hearing Patty. I couldn't tell. I feel like most of them were laughs and some of them were sobs.
yeah.
Like,
They were, yeah. Because you really do like the character of Ne Zha, because he's, even though he's like he's a troubled kid. You know what I mean? He's a punk ass, and you really get to the heart of why he's upset.
Yeah, you understand why.
Yep.
Because he's just been messed with his whole life
Yeah.
and looked down upon him, and people just want to get rid of him. But he
just-
never knows why. He just wants a friend.
Just dealt a bad hand.
I think another important like pin into that story as well is that closer to the end of the movie, you can really see that Ne Zha doesn't blame his parents.
Yeah.
Right? That was a really, really specific.
Feels.
That was
Yeah.
a really specific conclusion that I wasn't expecting. Was like for Ne Zha to like understand that his mom, especially, was just trying to like her hardest to help him, but like doesn't blame his dad for going off to do a bunch of demon seal banishment exorcism things. Like,
yeah. 100%.
Like, and the thing that really got me, that was not expecting at all. This is my personal what the fuck moment. Is big spoiler alert. Big spoiler alert. Big spoiler alert. Is that he actually comes to terms with like, okay, wait, like my own death could solve this thing.
Yeah.
That was like, yo, this is not what I was expecting from a kid's movie.
That's a mature
At
ass
all.
3-year-old.
This was
Yeah.
a really deep coming of age story. That's what
Right.
it was.
Yeah.
You really got to see him grow up.
Yes.
And it ended so well.
Such a good ending. It wasn't neat. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh, all right, he lives, and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
everything goes back to normal.
No,
Nah, man,
he definitely got lots of scrapes.
there's gonna be some shit that's gonna go on, and he's definitely not done. His work is not done. How about every single fight scene in this movie, guys?
Was phenomenal.
I
even,
was,
insane.
even when they were playing with the birdie, those scenes were phenomenal.
or how about when they were chasing down that paintbrush?
It was crazy.
It was really
What?
good.
What?
And they laced in humor and just, I don't know, I loved it.
They did some stuff with this movie that you can't do with regular movies, where they have just one complete shot,
Mhm.
and it looks like it was one take.
They spent like on every fight scene they put in 100%,
And the
work.
camera work was like, whoa.
Yeah, it added to the 3D
Yeah.
aspect of it.
In particular, that like first time that oh, I was really far away from the mic on that one. Sorry, because I thought I was yelling.
Go.
In particular, that really, really long, like putting what both of you guys are saying about enhancing the 3D visuals and making it feel like it was one take. In particular, when the immortal teacher puts Ne Zha into like that tree bark, like canoe and just like, we gotta go on a magic carpet ride and I can show you the whole world. Like that was like the most insane, just water turning into ice, like sled ride effects.
You know what?
And
For
it looked
him,
like it was all one take, like you said. Like,
yeah, and for him being like such a comedic relief and like kind of like the butt of the jokes in this movie, he had a really important badass moment at the end where he just kind of went into the fray of everything, risked his life for the family, for, you know.
Yeah, it also has me questioning more about what different stories we can find on Chinese mythology, because there's some sort of like demon exorcist named Zhong Kui or Zhang Kui. But that's what I was thinking of the whole time when I saw that character. And
You think that's who it might be?
to be fair, it's because I play Smite, as I have mentioned before. Hi-Res sponsor me.
I do have a what the fuck moment. If you get, oh well, no, let's give it our number rating. What do you guys? I'll start us off. I think I want to give this. Ah, damn, man! I'm trying to find something wrong with it. I can't find anything wrong with this movie, and it just makes me so excited for the sequel.
Can before you give this number rating,
Yeah,
I want you to post this online so people can see it. But look at this movie poster.
dude, it looks so badass.
It is so insane.
Yes, and
let that soak into your number rating.
Send that
'cause
to me.
The visuals are amazing.
Oh my god,
Also,
I have
demon mode.
to
is
watch it
also-
again because there was just so much to look at.
it's a 10 out of 10. Because I want to watch it again immediately too.
I do. I really want to watch it again.
It's
You
a
know
10
how
out
I
of 10.
you know what has been stuck in the back of my mind on why
Oh,
you gave it a
man.
10 out of 10?
Why is that?
It's because they had really stupid fart jokes and you didn't think that they were the worst thing ever.
They got me.
Can I
That is
also
a 10 out of 10.
I was
Can
like,
I-
he's gonna give it a high rating.
Can I also mention how Alex said that he enjoyed this movie that was in 3D, and usually he doesn't enjoy 3D
Whoa.
movies at all.
Yeah, he usually hates
them.
what-
He'd rather not see it in 3D. But he mentioned in this review how the 3D helped envelope him into this world.
You guys know why I gave it a 10 out of 10 more than I know. Like,
Yeah.
that's
It was a family
fantastic.
out.
Besides the broship of this movie, this is definitely
That was
this is
beautiful.
a family bro movie
Yeah.
with just a lot of heart.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah.
What's your number rating?
I give it
I won't.
Shit.
I won't stare into your eyes as you say
don't
it,
stare at
because I won't be disappointed with it.
I give it my heart wants to give it a 9 out of 10. I was going to give it an 8 out of 10, but I just really want to see this movie again.
Yeah.
And I want everybody to see this movie.
It's high up there.
Can I tell you what my favorite quote of the movie was?
Please.
At the end, he goes, "If fate is not fair, fight it till the end."
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is my movie now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will say, okay, that's just your fate. That's just your fate, and they'll accept it. But just, if you don't like your fate, you just fight it till the end.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to live your life just knowing that you rolled over and accepted your shit?
Or do you want to live your life knowing that you worked hard for whatever you got?
Yeah. I think that's a great message for kids. And we
Yeah.
need that shit in Disney movies.
You can change your fate.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
agree.
have to be the princess that is saved. You can save yourself.
You can be Mulan.
Right.
Shit, it's 2019. You could be the princess that goes say other princesses. You do what you want to do.
Does that make me what's that girl from Wreck-It Ralph movie? What's her name? Rose?
Sarah Silverman.
Sarah
I only know the actual actresses
That
and
is Sarah
or the actual
Silverman.
actors.
Oh my god. What's
Yeah.
your number rating, June?
I never give perfects. We
Okay.
know that.
We all know that.
However,
Yes.
This is a 9 out of 10.
Oh, I was on
Ooh.
bated breath there.
I
9 out of 10,
was
yeah.
very, very close to giving it an 8 out of 10, but the surprise factor of literally, I've seen incredibly low, like very, very little, if at all, any advertisement anywhere. Coupled with, I didn't even know that we were going to go see this. I was just thinking like, yo, that looks like a cool movie. And then we're at the theater and I'm like, hey, Martin, what are we about? Martin. All right, Martin, what ticket are you buying?
Stop. Let me just buy the tickets. I'm going to buy them, okay? Don't worry about it.
Oh, shit, I forgot my ID.
Oh, we're not turning around.
Okay.
I'll tell you how to trick that later.
Right.
Um,
I'm so smooth with that trick.
that was
It's called the sleight of hand.
yeah.
But, I mean, if there's something in the movie that could be questionably lacking was actually, for me, music. And that wasn't because it wasn't good. It was just that I was having so much fun with everything else. I didn't have a chance to really appreciate any of the music that was showing up, other than the like climax of the movie, the last half hour of the movie where everything is just badass all the time. Like in that particular instance, what little music does come through should already be helping you. You should already be like on a really massive like action high at this point.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
whatever music comes through is already just like, yeah, keep it going, full steam.
if we could just like transpose the Shrek music soundtrack onto this, then we're set. That would have been his first 10 out of 10.
I feel slightly offended because I don't think you actually appreciate how good the Shrek is.
I'm actually
Like-
not knocking it. It's
Like,
an amazing.
Shrek was actually great. It's just that because of pop culture and internet memes, there are so many things that are just hilarious. And one thing that'll never die is that somebody once told me.
Damn it! I always mispronounce that word. Slight.
Guardians.
It's slight.
It is slight. It's not slight.
I always want to say
from Teen Titans.
I know it's slight.
No, Shrek or Guardians of the Galaxy is what Shrek was for animated movies back in the day. Because I think that was what made that movie so like distinct. Was the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Watch, when you replay this, you're gonna hear me say slight. Yeah, I totally slight.
Why'd you say it so weird? Why'd you say?
Well,
Why'd you
Because
say
I
that?
want to
Alex
say
are like-
slight, but then I was like slate. I was like, man, which one? I'm like,
All right. I'm gonna end this with my what the fuck moment.
sleight of hand.
It
Sleight
was
of hand.
when Ne Zha threw the little kid back at the demon because Ao Bing rescued her first, and he's like, "Nah, bitch. The only one doing rescuing today is me. Here, demon, take him back. All right, motherfucker. We're gonna do this right."
My comment to that is that the kid didn't have any lines. The kid was just literally like,
Ooh,
shoop, boom.
ooh.
Okay.
She got swallowed at some point.
Yeah.
Like, she's getting digested and then
Speaking of
thrown up.
like, speaking of with like out really big spoilers because we're trying to end the podcast. Like, just go see this movie because, I mean, how much damage does a fully petrified stone man carrying a stone child deal? A lot, apparently.
A lot. That's at least 20% in Super Smash Brothers.
Can you slightly edit some of my slight mistakes?
Yes, I can slightly edit it.
Oh, sweet, perfect.
Yeah, I believe he is slated to put it into the edit chart.
I'm slightly tired.
You do look slightly tired. Do you have a what the fuck moment to kick it off?
Whoa, at the very end, when we find out that they're planning a trilogy.
Yas. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you follow us and DM us at HSTSC33 on Instagram and on
Slide
Twitter.
into those DMs.
And on Facebook.
and
Slide-
those Twitters.
Slide into those DMs.
And on our
Yeah.
website.
On Facebook, we're Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. Tell your friends about this. I know a lot of you have been telling your friends and giving us such awesome feedback. We really appreciate it. We want to continue to bring you more awesome content and just improve upon that.
Take your friends to the movies, like this movie,
Yes.
and then tell people about our podcast where we told you about taking your friends to see this movie, where they can go to this, movie about like the craziest China boy, where you guys can continue to listen to us, and then like we can go to the movies